everyone, it is your hostess with the mostest, Shauna, with Visually Speaking Podcast, here with another interview of sorts. And with me this evening, I have
Jay.
and,
Alicia.
and they are with
Zayn Properties.
Zayn Properties. Awesome. So, I guess we'll get started. So, tell me about yourselves. So, how did you all start with Zayn Properties? And then we'll kind of go backwards with that.
Okay. Well, we first got started, what was it, about a year? It's almost a year ago now, right?
You can say that, yeah.
Yeah, we first, my brother, he was doing mobile home investing, and we got curious about it, and we started to ask him, how did you get into this? And he gave us some classes to go over. So we looked at them, and we actually put it down for a while. We didn't look at it for a while, and we picked it back up, watched all the videos, we learned what we needed to learn, and we finally got out and, got the courage to get out there and do what we needed to do to promote. And I believe the first sale we got was March last year. That was her first sale.
Yeah.
And from there, we just kept going. We never looked back.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, where did the name Zayn come from?
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. It's actually the number 7 in Hebrew. So our anniversary, we got married 7/7/17.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's always been my favorite number. I was born on the 7th day. It was 7 pounds, 7 ounces. So I've always loved it. So yeah.
It's destined. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. First of all, guys, I want y'all to check out the branding on their shirts. Yes, branding is definitely key.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome. So, how long have you guys been married?
Now since 7/7/17, so we're going on 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, before Zayn Properties, what were you guys doing?
I was driving trucks. She has her own business doing hair.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we both were doing our own thing for a while, and we arrived here. So
Yeah, I've been braiding hair, well, professionally, you can say, since 2013. Yeah, and I can say the past couple of years, I've been feeling myself just wanting to venture off to something else.
Yeah.
I still like braiding and doing hair, but I'm not as passionate about it as I was, so I've always felt like it was something a little more, and just wasn't quite sure exactly what it was. And to kind of piggyback about what he said, how we got started, really a year before that, we had bought some courses to start with mobile home investing. And we started looking at it, but we really didn't take it too serious. We had just so much going on, just moved, the kids small or whatever. And we can say around New Year of last year, well, 2024, a prophet, actually, shout out Prophet Elijah, he told us, well, basically a message from God saying, the Lord saying it's a business that you kind of started before, but it really didn't take off, or you really didn't get into it like that. He said, start it again, and it's going to be successful. And we kind of narrowed it down. It was like, that's really about the only thing we had done. So we just focused in on the videos, learning how to help people with mobile homes, how to help them with affordable housing, and learning the steps. And it was strictly off faith. And I'm kind of hard to sit still, so I'm looking at also other things for me to do also, but I just stayed focused and did that. And whenever I got my first one under contract, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm nervous the whole time, and it was smooth selling. That one didn't actually go through because they really needed to be gone within like a couple of weeks. But my first sale was actually from a free mobile home, one somebody gave me. And
Wow.
I held on to it for a while because I really didn't think it was going to sell or anything. And I posted it, and it got sold in 2 days. So took off from there.
Nice. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that, that made you proud that, what the effort that you all have been putting into to start Zayn Properties, that it's, it was worth it. Definitely.
Yeah.
it was definitely worth it.
Yeah. So exactly what do you all do? Like I know you said for basically flip mobile homes to an extent, I guess. So
Yeah.
what else do you all do as far as for the mobile homes, and then helping other people, get the properties?
Well, like you said, yeah, there's a few things that we do within that whole realm of mobile homes. We do buy homes to renovate and resell or rent out. There are people who they will buy land and there'll be a mobile home on the land. They don't know what to do with it. They just want it gone. So we'll get it out of their yard for them, clear up their yard, and basically help people who are looking for more affordable housing options other than houses right now, since rent and mortgage is so high.
Yeah.
We found a different way that people can have a comfortable living space and still be able to not pay as much and make it more affordable versus the average rent being, I believe, what, $1,500 to $1,800 for a one bedroom here in Raleigh. So we do that all over the state, from Raleigh mostly to the east. So we work with parks as well. One park in particular we're working with. How many have we sold out of there? Probably, I know we've done over 10. We sold
Yeah.
over 10 in that park alone, and
Alone.
yeah,
Wow.
just in that park alone.
Okay.
So outside of that, we've helped countless people. Like, I don't have a number. So
Yeah, well, that was gonna be my next question. How many people have you all helped so far? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite a few, and each situation is completely different. Some people, they want to sell their home, but they're really not sure quite how to or what steps to go. So we do help them also by us having contact with higher up investors that will, cash investors
Yeah.
that will sometimes be able to get homes in bulk and things like that and get it off their property for them. But yes, it's been families who they may be living with about 12 other people, and there's some properties who need to be, that has to be renovated and fixed up, and they're fine with fixing it up just to be able to have somewhere to stay. So it's been a real humbling experience just seeing different people's journey, different people's situation, and yeah.
Yeah, with the, I guess say world, but the way that things are now, like you were saying earlier, things are really expensive.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
having you all, kind of take the stress and the ease off of people,
Yeah.
just a little bit, that definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So how much has your faith kept you all in doing Zayn Properties?
Without it, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we've gotten.
Yeah.
It was completely off faith. And I mean completely off of faith.
The size of a mustard seed,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what made us really lean into it wasn't just the fact of what the prophet had told us. It was also the fact that in April of last year, I had lost my job.
Okay.
So from there, I felt like I just didn't want to go back to driving trucks anymore. And I knew that if I put as much effort into mobile home investing as I did into getting my license and driving trucks, then we would be extremely successful. So that's what I did, and I haven't looked back since.
Yeah. And since you said that, correct me if I'm wrong, you all have kids, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
4.
have 4. So how much or how do you feel like Zayn Properties will shape legacy for your children?
I know you got a good one for that.
Well, we're looking to, as they do get older, hopefully that they will be involved, but definitely looking to build generational wealth, also breaking generational curses. But looking so that they can have their own land, have their own homes, so that once we are gone, that we've left a legacy here and a good estate for our descendants to come. So yeah, right now our oldest son, he's starting to work with us some. So he's 20. So he's getting the hang of it a little bit. So we're excited to see.
Yeah. And then that makes a difference for your children. They see how you all have taken a step into owning your own business. versus working for somebody else 24/7. And you make your time. Of course, you make your own schedule.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to do, you don't have to answer to anybody else. For that, which is definitely a wonderful example of you all to, have your children to see, which I think that's extremely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's definitely rubbed off on our oldest son. Like, he does not want a regular job. He knows he does not want a regular job in the long run. So that's one of the main reasons why he has decided to step up and get into the business and try to see what all he can learn. Because he wants to eventually be able to do something on his own. So this is a good start for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you guys just in North Carolina at this present moment?
For the most part, we do communicate with people in Virginia, South Carolina, but it's not often. So as of right now, we actually do virtual deals at times, just depending on where they come from, and we have to get to know the market and all that. But that's something that we're expanding to right now.
Yeah, and also with land and tapping into other things outside of with mobile home, and land home packages. So, and getting into this is just interesting to see how many people are looking for housing from whether it's a mobile home to a mansion. So and just seeing the pricing out there now is crazy. So
it is crazy. The housing market is ridiculous.
It really is.
And like I said, with everything going on, it just keeps going higher and higher. Don't see it anytime soon where it's going to go any lower.
Yeah.
No, well, from what we know, the market is going to crash soon, very hard. And I hate to say it, but it's going to be ugly out there for a lot of people who just bought homes within the past couple of years. So, it might be an option for you to come see us, because otherwise it's going to be ugly for what we know.
And we thought of, like, in the future doing things like hopefully being able to purchase mobile home parks that does offer like affordable housing, Section 8 things, because we do come from humble beginnings. With my oldest son, I was in affordable housing. And so I know how it can be whenever you're starting off, whenever you could be, whether it's disabled, single parent, or just trying to use something as a stepping stone. So we want to be able to help others that are looking to do better, and even if it's not a permanent home, just something until they can get the home of their dreams.
And it, like you had mentioned, it makes a difference when that's a situation you've been in yourself previously, and you know yourself from firsthand experience how other people are feeling. So that also, it encourages you all to, make sure that there's other people who have the affordability. To be able to get a mobile home where they don't have to break the bank, to do so.
And just seeing how life can change within a year. Like he said, last April, he lost his job. So it was rough. It was, bad. It took us praying a lot, leaning on each other. Even having to go back to the drawing board with government assistance. So it was hard with that. So from going from that to within a few months, making good up in the 5 figures was, mind blowing, and definitely was like, okay, we've learned several lessons. Definitely increased our faith a whole lot, but and just being cheerful givers and being able to give back whenever we can, and wanting to help those that are starting off or just going through a hard time.
How does it make you guys feel when you see a person, when they're able to get that home and they have their keys and they're smiling and thanking you all, for that? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like, honestly, like I've actually done something that makes a difference. Versus just working a job and helping somebody get rich. So
it's indescribable, really.
It really is.
Yeah. And you definitely, again, you have to have the heart for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, because there's some rough stories that you hear going out there. I dealt with one a couple days ago, where a lady, one of the ladies we were dealing with, been trying to sell her home for 3 months. Finally sold, but she didn't tell anybody in her family. Nobody else lived there, but the problem was nobody knew she was doing it, and she was basically being scammed out of her money from a man that she was talking to. So the morning that I arrived to do the closing, they're out there crying, pulling stuff out the house. It's just a whole mess. And that's just one situation we run into. There's plenty more we can tell you about, but
I'm sure.
it's pretty sad to see that something so simple can cause so much turmoil. But it's just life, I guess.
Yeah, you definitely have to have morals and integrity, really. A lot of people out here don't, but it is sad to see how some people do lose everything within a matter of minutes, and that wasn't their intention. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and having integrity is definitely huge.
Yeah.
And definitely something, of course, that takes you far.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, have there, and I'm pretty sure it has, but I know that's not something you guys are focused on. Has there been any hangups?
I can't say there have been any hangups. As far as anything, well,
You remember the situation last summer? Was it Warrington? The lady with that double wide?
yeah. Yeah. I ran into a lady in Warrenton. This is gonna sound crazy from the beginning.
Okay.
The lady was blind. So she knew, obviously she knew everything around the house, but she didn't know what condition it was in. She didn't know the actual year of her home. And there are stipulations to moving a home of a certain age. She was told the home was older than, she was told it was an 81. It was actually a 73.
Wow.
So again, people lying to people, taking advantage of people. It was her husband who told her that he died, and now she's stuck trying to sell the house. The lady that bought it, she brought me a large amount of money for the home. She was gonna get moved down to somewhere else in North Carolina, and she had a whole luncheon with me and just telling me, please, I trust in you and all this, and I get to pay for the mobile home with her money. I find out that the mobile home is not the year that she said it was. So now I have to go chase this lady down for 5 figures worth of money. So our business almost ended before it really started.
Wow.
Luckily, they didn't spend any of the money. I got it back to them, and I was a lot more careful from then. So
Yeah.
we learned lessons at every deal almost. We learned lessons to change up what we do, to make sure we cover all bases, but overall, it's still a good experience.
That's definitely a good thing. And it's a good thing that you all were able to find the information,
Yeah.
for that young lady, definitely. So another question. What is the difference between selling mobile homes and actually selling houses?
Well, one of the big differences is you don't need a license. You don't have to have any creditable hours per se. There's nothing that limits you from doing it. While selling houses, technically, you also don't need a license, but most people like to buy from realtors for reassurance. So another one of the bigger differences is people are a lot more likely to buy a mobile home that they know that they have to put some repairs into, because it's going to cost a lot less money overall. So they're more willing to deal with that and move it to their own land and not have to worry about paying rent, mortgage, or anything. So I know people have the ongoing joke that they see people with mobile homes, but they have these nice cars, but they also don't have to pay mortgage and rent. So
These are facts too. Yeah. Yeah.
And mobile homes also, they're, I guess you could say, considered
They're considered personal property,
properties,
so you don't have to go through lawyers. With real estate, you have to go through lawyers.
Yeah.
Period. In North Carolina, anyway. So, with mobile homes, you don't. Just the DMV.
Wow.
Yeah.
So because it's called a mobile home.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
As well,
Versus
yeah.
with a home that's in a state, and it's there. Mobile homes, you can move it to wherever you want to. Which
Yeah.
houses you can too. You know, that's gonna cost a lot more, but it's a lot cheaper to actually move a mobile home.
What a lot of people don't know, though, is if you take a mobile home, put it on your land, and put it on brick underpinning, then it's real estate. So you just...
Considered a house.
It's
Yeah.
considered a house now.
Yeah.
So you just gave yourself automatic equity.
In which we sold our first one of those last summer.
Yeah.
About August.
July. Yeah. Right at the end of July of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Something new you learn every day. Definitely. Yeah. What are some of the takeaways that you have with selling mobile homes?
A lot of people think their place is worth more than it is. If you paid, let's just say you paid $50,000 for your place 15 years ago, it's not still worth $40,000. It doesn't build equity unless, again, you have it on bricks and you own the land that it's under. Outside of that, a lot of people are not serious. So we get a lot of wasted time outside of that. So
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've learned with that. It's been times we supposed to go meet somebody. It was actually last summer. Had the younger kids with us, about 100-something degrees outside. They didn't show up,
Yeah.
and the truck went crank. So we're stuck in Henderson,
Yeah.
sweating. Had to call a tow truck to get back. So now we're like, if they don't confirm and say, yes, we're coming, we're on the way, we don't leave to do it. We wasted a lot of gas and time and things doing that. So we just make sure that we're more serious who we like put our all into now.
Because you're basically taking a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
In the long run, it's a good chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time it pans out to be good in the end. So we do have those times where we just can't get anything done for the person. Sometimes the place is just too bad off, or it's just in a bad place, or they've got too many issues, they don't have a title or whatever. So we opt out of some, opportunities as well.
That makes sense. Definitely understood. Would you all ever think about possibly selling houses as well as the mobile homes?
Yeah, well, technically we have sold one already, but yeah, that's definitely what we're looking into, especially Southeast Raleigh area. Really looking to get into that. I grew up on that side of town, so looking at seeing how it's changing and all of that. Yeah, we're looking to get some of those properties better over there, and land also.
Looking to do community developments, build neighborhoods. So we do work with, the next campaign we're doing right now is actually going to be aimed at houses. So what we would initially like to do is find houses that do need renovation and make them affordable renovations, not these super expensive places that are selling in Raleigh for $1 million. So, but we would also like to, like she said, buy land and put starter houses out there for people to be able to, families of 4 to be able to go and buy without breaking the bank, and give them financing options that make sense, that they don't have to go through traditional lending or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've even thought about like tiny houses in the future for the less fortunate and also the homeless. Just look at it, it's crazy how many people don't have homes and that are homeless or in bad conditions. So, and it's crazy that in the country that we are, that anybody should be homeless. So anyway, that we can do in the future to be able to help communities, and be able to build communities is definitely on our priority list.
Yeah. I know you mentioned it as far as like for Southeast Raleigh, and I know Southeast Raleigh has definitely been growing really fast.
Yeah.
I know they added like another doctor's office there. They've got, of course, the YMCA. Of course, you have figured out I'm from Southeast Raleigh, so I kind of know the area. And it's growing. It's becoming kind of a metropolis, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, so they'll be putting a soccer stadium by South Saunders in a couple years.
Yeah, that I didn't know. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So you're definitely making sure that's one of the places that you guys tap into.
Southeast Raleigh we're tapping into it, but it's extremely expensive to get into there now. If you're not really familiar with real estate, then you may not understand why it's so high. So over the past few years, since they've been gentrifying, what also happens is the property values on those blocks raises for each house that gets rebuilt. So each block is now being rebuilt.
Yeah.
All the prices are rising everywhere. So a house that may have sold for $50,000 a couple years ago is now going to go for $300,000-$400,000, and that's before renovations. So you add those renovations, now you're looking at $600,000-$700,000 a house. It's not that easy to get into that area because you've got the high rollers who they've got $1 million bank accounts, so they're just going in and buying houses by the week. So it's, while we want to get into that area, we have to be strategic because it's not easy.
Yeah. And then, the bottom of all the properties, you have a lot of elderly people who live in the area. And they bought up their land, and then because they bought up their land, they're having to move. Yeah, so them being displaced, that's kind of rough.
Yeah, or either their home may be paid for, but the taxes are ridiculous at this point. And, we're behind, and if somebody else is willing to come in and pay it, unfortunately, they have to leave. And almost regardless of where you go now, even if you're bordering Wake County, it's expensive. So, I don't know how it's going to end up being in the future, but like you said, it is going to end up being a crash at some point. But I was hoping at some point that it gets better and that we can continue to have options for people to still be able to have a roof over their head and with their kids, their family, or themselves.
Another thing was there for mobile homes and housing. There's the people who are getting the mobile homes, they don't have to have a certain credit score to do so.
That's going to depend heavily on if they want their home to be in a park or not. A lot of times they don't check your credit score, but you do still have to make 3 times the amount of the lot rent or whatever they are charging for rent. But if you're going to just buy a place, no, you don't check your credit score because it's going to be a cash transaction anyway.
Gotcha.
When we start offering financing, then yes, credit score is going to matter, but it doesn't at this time, no.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get to the point of doing rentals and things like that, we'll have to dig in a little deeper because, of course, you can't just have anyone with maybe certain backgrounds, whether it's violent or whatever, there. But even with situations like that, we've even talked about like people who maybe do have felonies or somebody that is looking for a second chance. There's places for them to be able to go. So hopefully we'll be able to figure something out for different options in the future.
I know you guys have a website. So if people want to talk to you, if they want to get more information about Zayn Properties, how can they reach out to you?
They can come to our website online. It's zaynprops.com. That's ZAYNPROPS.com. And Our Facebook page is Zayn Properties, and you can catch us all, well, both of us on Facebook as well.
Okay.
We'll be having Instagram and TikTok page coming soon.
Nice, nice. Now, is it just you two? Do y'all have investors? Do y'all have other partners that assist?
We do work with investors, and we work with anybody who involves themselves in real estate. So we're not limiting ourselves, but as far as within our business, it's just us two.
So, how is it different now with y'all working together every day on a regular basis than it was when you were a truck driver on the road? You know, you're not home all the time. But did you do OTR?
I did OTR for a little while.
Okay, okay.
And I did local as well.
Okay. And you had, you were braiding hair and so forth. And you had a 9 to 5. So the difference between then, where you didn't have time with each other all the time, every day, to now, you're business partners and you're seeing each other, you're in each other's face every day. You know?
Yeah, it was hard when he was on the road. It was like Monday through Friday. And at that time, we had a newborn and a 2-year-old and 7-year-old and 17-year-old is what the oldest was. So it was a lot with the 2 youngest.
I'm sure.
Getting kids back and forth to school. Me dropping the 2 younger ones off in Zebulon at my mom's. He's in Zebulon. While I worked and did my clients' hair, then go pick them up in the evening and come back. But it's like literally 90% of the day we were on the phone, talking if I didn't have a client. But it was a lot. So sometime when he came home, I wanted to be like, Tag, you're it. He enjoys them out. Yeah, so going from that to being there every day, all day, it was an adjustment at first because even when he was off the road and he was still truck driving, but here local, I'm just used to doing certain things around the house. So when he was here all day, and I'm seeing him do certain things, and he's trying to help out, but I'm kind of like, that ain't how you do it. That ain't it. Like, so just learning to compromise and just having a balance and just having a schedule with the kids and with ourselves and learning different times of when to have business and when for a relationship and just knowing when to turn certain things off. So it was kind of rough at first, an adjustment, but yeah, I definitely say it's been great.
So do y'all have moments to where you're like, okay, I need to separate myself. I need to go off, you know, just recollect into your own spaces and then, you know, come back?
Daily. No, no, it's really not like that. Because we have such a goofy relationship. Like, we know what each other is thinking most of the time. So we complement each other in that way when we work together, because we will, where I push, she pulls, and where she's strong, I'm not so. We even each other out within the business. I know I do a lot more of the groundwork and a lot more of the numbers. She's good with building rapport with customers and being more empathetic and all that. Basically what we want to do is make them feel comfortable so that they know that they can do what they need with us. So she's real good with that. So it's not bad at all for me. I used to hear the chaos on the phone all the time. But kind of, I don't know if you see the little video where you hear you just hear screaming in the background. That's how it was 90% of the time when I was on the phone. So actually being home and hearing it and seeing it every day is like, I get it. I get it.
So from going from life partners to parental partners to now business partners, how has that shaped and molded your bond and your love for each other?
I think it really helped us out to be more understanding of each other. I think it really connected us more too, because we had the same goal in mind, rather than us both venturing off and doing our own business, which I'm not that would hurt, but because we're doing the business together and we're seeing the fruits of our labor, I think that helps out a lot with our love as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally like best friends though. So it's like certain things we still learn about each other with different things. Like when you get married, you learn certain things. When you're parents, you learn certain things as parents. So we learn different things as business partners, but overall it meshed. We just made
Yeah.
sure nothing got to the point that it would break us or cause a rift. And if we saw it going that way, we just take a step back, pray about it, recollect thoughts, and go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. That, that's, encouraging for other married people who decide or thinking about going into business and, being business partners with each other. Yeah, that gives them an example to look at.
Definitely have to compromise.
Yeah.
And that was a little hard for me because I'm used to working for myself for over 10 years. So
Yeah.
some stuff I'm like, I don't want to do it that way. I'm just so used to. So I had to learn to be like, okay, we're partners and consider him with certain things. So with my other business, I know I'm the boss of that. This one, I know I'm a co-boss. So
Yeah. Yeah.
pump the brakes a little bit sometimes.
Oh goodness. I guess one other question. Did you all think about, or are you all going to maybe possibly get into doing Airbnbs?
I thought about it. It's not too much different than what we're doing. Like, all of that branches off of the same tree in real estate. So once you get one part, it's not hard to understand the other part. We haven't really thought about doing it, but it's always an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 years from now, where do you guys see yourselves in Zayn Properties?
I see myself retired on somebody's
Yeah,
island.
but-
Between now and then,
Yeah.
hopefully we have a few properties and land of our own, communities that we've built on our own, leaving a legacy for the kids, being able to help multiple families and to hopefully have some type of foundation, or I can't even necessarily say charity, but something that we can give back to as far as with housing, shelters, things of that nature. So yeah, just hopefully building in the community.
Yeah.
You said 10 years?
10.
What I would like to see, what I would like to do is have 200 to 300 homes within 3 to 5 parks.
Wow.
I wouldn't say all rentals because everybody doesn't want to rent. I want some people to be able to own their own piece of land as well. Because you don't have to keep that home there. Once you buy it, you can get rid of it and build your house.
Yeah.
That land is worth more than that home. So we want people to also be able to understand their options instead of just being so ready to sell for a few $1,000s. Because that few thousand, it's not going to last long.
This is true. It's like water.
Yeah, it goes fast.
Absolutely. Let's see. I guess that's all the questions I have. Unless there's anything else that you all want to give the audience. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I do have one other question. I know you mentioned that to have faith the size of a mustard seed. Is there any other mottos that you all have that kind of helps you keep going throughout the day?
I mean, every now and then, whenever I do almost kind of feel like, I can't say I want to give up necessarily, but things aren't going quite my way in my mind, I just figure I got to just be like a shark, like keep swimming or die, keep moving or die. So just about that motivation, that perseverance to continue to keep going on and like at the end of the day, we do keep God in the forefront of in the front of our business. So just keeping Him first and standing strong in our faith has really helped us a long ways.
Yeah.
One thing that I live by is basically, I know that all big businesses started at small spaces. And if you limit yourself, then that's as far as you go.
This is true.
So I put no limits on myself, and I picture myself as rich now, so that when I get there, it won't be a surprise.
Okay. I love those. Yeah. If someone would want to get into investing and selling mobile homes and so forth, what would you tell them the route to go?
Call us. It's a lot. It's a lot to learn. It's not something that we could just give you a play-by-play on. We could, but it wouldn't be anything that you could actually do. So if you would like to learn, then we're open to teaching people who want to learn, but we'll just leave it at that. Who want to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we had thought about in the future maybe teaching classes or having classes or things like that, but definitely not gatekeepers. There's people who I talk to all the time, tell them, hey, if you're interested, I'm willing to teach you this, teach you that. Programs that we started out on, I've passed that along, information on to other people just so they can do it also. I feel like it's enough out here for everybody, and especially in our own African American community. We'll never really get our 40 acres in the mule, so we got to get our piece of the African American pie somehow. Yeah.
I mean, we deserve it.
We do.
Yeah.
We built it, so.
Yeah. Off the backs of
another-
our ancestors. So yeah, we definitely deserve it.
You're taking it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Expeditiously, like Tia said. Yeah.
Without fault, without waiver, just go get it. Yeah. Go get your blessing.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I thank you so much for allowing me to come into your beautiful home to sit here and talk about your business, to give other people encouragement that, it's not, it's not the end of the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still have an opportunity to, if you want to own your, I'm not gonna say home, but a mobile home, to have land that you call your own. There's still opportunity out there for that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely want to thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Yeah, definitely. So again, guys, this is your hostess with the mostest, Shauna, here with Visually Speaking Podcast. And of course, I am here with
Jay.
And Alicia.
And they're with Zayn Properties. If you want to get into selling properties, definitely reach out to them. Give them a call, go to their website, whatever you need to do, they'll be more than happy to discuss. And if you want to invest, or not invest, but get your own property, definitely reach out to them as well. That's what they're here for. All right. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.